Now we're going to consider the other learning objective for this session. Identify the strengths and weaknesses of inferring human health effects from non-human studies. So here's an example for you to think about. Here is the lethal dose 50 for dioxin in a number of different species. In which species is dioxin most toxic? Yes, the guinea pig, where the LD50 is only 0.6, where for a mouse it's 114 and for a monkey it's 70, even taking their weight into account. So what will it be in humans? You can see the problem. So testing toxicity in animals is feasible, but translating it can be a bit more complex. So how do we infer health effects from non-humans to humans? Here's one way, one approach. We can do the tests in animal models, bacteria and cells, which may be informative. So we have some idea, but we also do observational studies in humans to check the risk. However, as we will discover in session 7, observational studies are not always very reliable as such, because there are other differences that we may not have taken into account. So ideally, going back to the first session on science, we do want to use animal studies and cell studies to find out how the world works, so as to give us ideas about how to find new ways of preventing major causes of death. So we want to translate not exactly the effect from one place to another, but the knowledge of how the world works from animals to humans. So, for example, if we worked out in animals that a disease was transmitted by contact, and we recognized then that it was an infectious agent, like, say, hepatitis, then we would know that preventing contact would prevent the disease. So here's another attempt. How do we infer health effects from? However, we do have to always bear in mind that we have to have the correct experimental setup when we're using non-humans. So we need the right animal model. So if we're looking at heart disease, mice are not a great model because they have different cholesterol processing from humans, whilst my colleagues assure me that guinea pigs are the perfect animal model for heart disease in humans. There's also been worries about reproducibility in science. There was a very influential paper from 2011 that was only able to replicate the findings from 6 of 53 landmark studies in preclinical cancer research. However, that may have been a particularly egregious example, which emphasized the importance of good research methods. So, as with everything else, care has to be taken with inferring effects in humans from non-humans, but we have to pay attention to the importance of getting research methods right, doing things in the right way, before we can infer from non-humans to humans. Thank you.